All right, here's the next in our podcast, and we are talking about CPCTC today and proofs. Hopefully, again, that you have checked worksheet 4.3 on your proofs. Again, any of those proofs could be fair game for the proof quiz, which is coming up again on Tuesday of next week. So just as a reminder. For what we're working on today is we're now still proving the triangles to be congruent, but now what we're looking for is we're looking for an individual piece to be equal to another individual piece. And I briefly talked about that yesterday as something called CPCTC. So corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. And if I were you, I would write that down. I do have it written down in a different spot, but it's not on the packet that you're going to be receiving. So again, it's corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So we're going to take a look at some CPCTC proofs. There's a couple of samples I'm going to do with you in the packet today. And so you're going to do some of the samples, and then the rest of this is going to be your homework. So I make sure that you ask questions and all that good stuff. So we're marking our given information on the diagram. We have a lovely list of reasons below that we will be using. Okay, and so that is what we're going to be doing. So we have reasons from this particular list. I just moved the page down a little bit. So again, you can see the list. Everybody again should have a packet. And so our ultimate goal is first to prove that the triangles are congruent. So we need to be able to do that. And then next is we're going to follow up with this piece has to be equal to this piece because, well, duh, if the triangles are equal, they're individual pieces that make them up have to be equal. So the first thing we would do is, again, this one has two pieces of given, so that's why there's two givens down below. So we're going to have given and given. So we have that. I'm going to cross those out down there. And so, and always, again, I've always been harping at you guys to mark your drawings. It's really super important to mark your drawings because then you can see, again, why are the triangles equal. So make sure you do that because that's really important. So we have, again, yx and then wx, which is congruent, and then we have the zx, which is bisecting, and it's bisecting yxw. So if it's bisecting it, then that means these two pieces would have to be equal. And so you guys remember this good old one, so definition of bisect. If you want to be particular, you can use the definition listed down below, definition of angle bisector. I also would accept definition of bisect, so it's up to you on what you want to write. Okay, and so I have that marked. And then also we're going to have xz to be congruent to xz, so hopefully you see that, again, they share that side. Okay, so again, you know that that's called reflexive. You do not have to write property of congruence. You guys know that. Okay, and the triangles we're trying to prove is going to be y, x, z. So it's these big ones. And then the other big one on the other side. So you have to kind of look and see what do we have. And so hopefully you can see that it's going to be side angle side. So SAS. Because again, side, angle, side. And then finally, well, if the triangles are equal, wouldn't YZ have to be congruent to WZ? Well, yeah, it's matching parts. So therefore, it would be its corresponding parts. So corresponding parts of those congruent triangles that we just proved are congruent. And so that would be the end of that proof. Again, pretty simple, again, because it's giving you the reasons and so forth. So the first thing we're going to focus on is going to be a flow chart. Again, I know some of you guys like those flow charts and some of you guys don't like those flow charts. So hang on a minute, I'm going to clean up my mess. Okay, now I cleaned up my mess on the board here. So the next thing we're going to do with our flowchart proofs is, again, do a CPCTC. So we're still proving the triangle's congruent. This is going to be your sample. And again, the other ones I'm going to be expecting you to do. Then I'm going to give you a paragraph example of a paragraph proof. and then you'll again have some time to work on that. So make sure again that you get all those things mastered and all those lovely things done. So we are given, we put again our given in the box. So we have AR being congruent to ER. So that is done, and that's given. We also have AC is congruent to EC, and that is also given information. And then hopefully you know that RC is congruent to RC because again, it's reflexive. Again, mark your drawing. So AR is equal to ER and AC is congruent to EC. Very simple dimple proof. So why are these triangles equal? RCE is congruent to triangle RCA. They are going to be congruent because of side, side, side. And then go to your proof. What am I trying to prove? Well, I want to match. I want to match and show that angle E is going to be congruent to angle A. Well, if the triangles are equal, its matching parts or corresponding parts would have to be congruent. So angle E will be congruent to angle A. Don't screw this up, because what people do is they always want to put CPCTC like where the SSS is. Still prove the triangle is congruent using the methods as we do. The CPCTC is the afterthought. That's when I want a piece of the triangle to be equal to another piece of the triangle. So try to remember, when do we use CPCTC? It's when we're proving just a piece of something is equal to its other matching piece. Okay? So I think you'll be fine on the flow charts. Again, work with each other. I think you'll be okay. All right, cleaning up the board. All right, now let's go down to your paragraph proofs. So again, remember your paragraph proofs, the first sentence should include your lovely given information. And again, that last sentence should be your proof statement and the reason. Okay, and so since we have this lovely flow chart below, we're going to rewrite the box as a statement within that reason, and we're going to do some justification here. So here we go, except that I have to move things a little bit. All right, so we're doing this. This is already done as a proof. Our job is to turn this into a paragraph proof, and this doesn't quite want to work with me today. There we go. So what we would do is always start with your sentence of what we're given. So we are given that AB is parallel to CD and E is the midpoint of AD. Then look and see, how did these boxes flow? Oh, well, it depends what you want to do. So we could say, since AB is parallel to CD, angles, let's see, we have BAE is congruent to angle CDE, and angle ABE is congruent to angle DCE. Because, and then put your reason in here underneath here. So, because alternate interior angles are congruent. I know, I like to still put my abbreviations in. And that's normal. Okay, then we could say, then we can have AE is congruent to ED by a definition of midpoint and then I know you're going to be having probably more room than I am. And then finally, put in your proof statement. So finally, triangle ABE is congruent to triangle DCE by AAS. That's a really bad by. There, I just made it. So that's what you're going to be doing. Some of the proofs for the paragraph proofs, you're going to fill in the blanks, and some of them you're just going to have to write your own. So do the best that you can with your proofs. Make sure again that you don't have any other missing assignments or anything that you need to turn in, because again, we're almost at mid-quarter. And have a great day.